Hey Wade, so with your logo, I'm still honestly not too big on the ninja star that you have here because, it's a little bit too cliche, and with the type, I think you have the same issue that it works, but it depends on what style you're going for, and I'm still a little bit confused about your demographic because if you do it way too stylized where it's like, like kind of cliche, ninja stuff with like the typeface, the style that you have and everything, then it's not horrible, but I think you said that your company was based in Japan, right? I'll pull that up while I'm talking. Um, Hold on. Let's see. Shinobu. Yeah, based in Japan. I don't think that cliche Japanese type is going to fit the Japanese demographic because it's a little too over the top. You know what I mean? Like it might appeal to Americans, which is also part of your demographic because we see that and we're like, oh, cool, it's Japanese. But like in Japan, since they see that and it's a little bit more cliche on their end, then it might even be more offensive. You'd have to kind of test out your demographic. But let's say that you're appealing to Americans now, then something like that. I don't hate the idea of you doing a Japanese star or a whatever, only because I can't think of something better off the top of my head to suggest that wouldn't be cliche that would work for it because I don't think that you should do. I think that you need to have something that reflects that ninja aspect, but I don't think you should do a picture of a ninja. So I still would like to see something different, but at this point, it's too late for you to change your concept. I would have liked to have seen more concepts before you did Project 2, so I'm going to lose some points for that because I wanted to see other concepts before you went ahead with this one. As far as this goes, you can't rely on the color and doing the gradients, as I saw you had mentioned in your comment and stuff. You can't rely on the gradients to make it look good because you need to make sure that it looks good in black and white before you move on to anything else. Because if it doesn't look good in black and white, that means that the style of it and the overall shape of it aren't working. So you need to focus on making that work before you try and just do it in color and try and save it that way. So focus on the shape of it and making that work first. That being said, I would try and probably take the type away from being on top of the logo. Like 98% of the time, it doesn't work when you have the type on top of your logo because it's just distracting and it covers up a lot of detail. And I know you don't have any detail in here, so it's not awful in this situation, but it's also going to, when you shrink the type or with the logo down, it's going to shrink down the type. So I would pull this type away from the logo, maybe have it underneath it or, off to the side or something like that. Maybe off to the side might work since it'll make it look like it's flying through the air or something. As far as the actual symbol itself goes, this is extremely plain looking, so you're going to need to play with the style of it a little bit more, and I know I keep saying that. Specifically, you'll want to play with the line variation of it. Since these are all the same line weight, it looks really, really plain and flat and boring. There's nothing interesting to it. So the shape is okay, but you're going to want to play with the line variation and make this a little bit thicker here, wherever the side of it or the shadows would be, so that it gives it more of a depth. Because right now, it just looks like a flat shape. There's no detail to it at all. So all those details that you want to give it to make it look more realistic with the gradient, try and do that with just the black and white and see if you can go in here and add a little bit more detail to it to make it pop out and make it look more three-dimensional. The other thing, what was the other thing that I was going to say? Oh, is with this shape here, it's kind of off, so you'll want to make it look a little, I don't know if you're trying to do perspective, but the angles are a little bit off, so you'll want to make it look more even, or who knows, maybe they're actually shaped like that, but you'll want to, I'm pretty sure that they don't look like that, but I could be wrong, I'll look it up, but you'll want to straighten that out so that it looks clean and professional and everything's lined up and stuff. So those are the main things, is play with the line variety, add some depth to it, make it a little bit more interesting because right now it's very flat. Take the type away from it. And yeah, this does fit your company. If you're going for the American audience, then if this fits the whole over the top, like you're trying to make it look very Japanese ninja-ish, then sure, the cliche type will work for that. Otherwise, if you're trying to also go for the Japanese market, this might be a little bit too cliche, like I was saying. So play around with that. Really evaluate if it's really hitting your target market, because I had some questions about that before, as you know, and you didn't really clear up totally who your market was with that, the questions I had before. All right, so play with those things.